Hey, welcome to the Riots podcast, Friday edition.
Friday.
So today in the podcast, we talked about what it's like to be a beached whale.
That is a horrible way to think of how it went when you'll hear the story.
I feel like it's accurate. I agree with you. It's horrible.
I know, but you just can't help but feel that way sometimes.
Nikki, sometimes the heart feels what the heart feels.
Or the body does.
Yeah, so that's what happened. We also talk about what would happen if Mary Poppins and Aquaman got in a fight.
Yeah.
Smell-o-vision, the cancellation of Daredevil, how to steal a phone.
Did you put the Capital Lights stuff in?
I did.
Now, Capital Lights is a highly contested Christmas song that we play here on Radio U. So you won't hear the song since this is a podcast. We don't pay for that opportunity because that's expensive. But in the podcast, but I'll suggest if you want to hear what the Christmas song sounds like, it's in our Radio U Christmas channel. It is. So when you're done with the podcast, go to RadioU.com, click on Christmas channel. You'll see it there. Or download the Radio U app, which you can also, get our podcast each day through, or our Radio U Roku channel, and the Christmas channels are on both places. Mm-hmm. So you can hear the song that we're talking about.
You totally can. So we're talking about, and it's Capital Lights, his favorite Christmas story.
And people either love it or hate it, and we read some of your text messages concerning it.
And I mean, people really have an opinion. Like, yes, we're not just saying they have an opinion. I'm telling you, they have an opinion. So you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Nikki and I are going to, I think she's just going to leave.
Oh, I'm going upstairs. And then I'm going to leave. But I'm going upstairs first. Not to sit at your desk with you.
I'm trying to get Nikki to sit at my desk with me today and keep me entertained.
No, that is not my job today.
It's ridiculous.
But I'm going upstairs. I will do that.
Well, then, you know what? It's fine. We're supposed to have a farmer's market later, so I'm still getting all my perks.
So I'll miss that.
You guys enjoy the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Are you sitting down? I hope you are. Are you driving pullover? Get ready to pour one out for the Daredevil.
Oh, yeah. I saw that last night. I asked Eric, I was like, is this real?
The announcement.
Netflix is going crazy.
The announcement was made. Netflix announced that Daredevil is now canceled.
So it was 3 seasons?
3 seasons.
Are they doing a 4th and then it's canceled, or is that was it?
Nikki, they can't count that high. Whatever that number is that you said that came after 3.
They can't do it.
They can't do that.
So that leaves Jessica Jones.
And the Punisher.
And the Punisher. Why the Punisher? That'll be next.
Oh, yeah. That's
that'll have to go.
Unless they manage to already make that deal and we just don't know about it.
I feel like there's something Netflix is not telling us on why they won't continue these shows.
I guarantee you.
There's some reason, and I'm sure it involves whatever
Disney
the Disney
Plus.
deal. Yeah, the Disney deal is, but it must be too much money for the return that they get in order to keep it until Disney Plus is here.
Dude, and you know what they're going to do, right? They're going to come out on Disney Plus and be like, after Netflix passed, we went ahead and picked up Daredevil for season 4.
And then it comes back and it goes there.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. But before we get excited about possibilities of pickups,
gotta say goodbye first.
Let's take a moment as we lay to rest a show that I enjoyed enormously.
Did you watch the last season, though?
Well, I was going to mention that. I still have.
Why every time they cancel one of these shows, everybody's always like, "Oh yeah, I haven't watched the most recent one though."
I still have not watched the last season of Iron Fist, Daredevil, or Luke Cage.
And what all got canceled?
Iron Fist, Luke Cage,
and Daredevil. Okay, what is that? Cause correlation? Maybe.
I don't want to shoulder the blame for this, but I didn't help.
Okay.
I didn't help.
It
wasn't helping.
Thank you, Eric, for texting. Daredevil was my favorite one of them all.
Well, the thing that, at least to me, feels really hard about this is that it just goes to show you, as I've said before, like, I really liked Luke Cage and I really liked Daredevil.
No one's saying they liked Iron Fist, but it was just there.
Yeah, Eric says Daredevil was my favorite one of them, too. Daredevil was the best one.
Yeah. It was the starting one, wasn't it?
It was. It was the best one, and it's no longer with us, so... Sorry, Daredevil. I'm making some coffee, and I'll pour some coffee out for you.
Into another cup, because we don't want to waste anything.
Well, Nikki, that's the point of pouring it out.
No, they just said pour it out. They didn't say at that point, where does it go?
Okay.
You can just pour it out into another cup or give it to a person.
Okay, because that's what Daredevil would have wanted.
Yes, he would.
If you're looking for a peaceful start to your morning, you should look somewhere else. It's The Riot on RadioU.
If you could buy something for your iPhone.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, your iPhone's not big enough, Nikki. The XS Max...
I need to add more to it.
It needs to have more to it. If you could buy a little something you could slap on the end of your phone that would enable people to send you smells through text messages...
No, I wouldn't.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think, though? Okay. Well, first off, why not?
I guess that is not something I feel is necessary. I can live in the fantasy, the moment of the emojis, and I don't need a smell to make me feel like, oh, you've sent me this or you sent me that. So I don't know. I just don't think I need it.
They say that smell is one of our most underrated senses.
True.
And it is a powerful trigger for both emotion and memory, but we have a tendency to dismiss it very quickly.
Well, like I just did.
Exactly. Think about this, though, Nikki. Okay. Let's say that we as a society have grown more and more dependent on visuals.
Yeah.
The things we see on TV and whatever. What if there was a breakthrough in technology that allowed smell to be broadcast just as easily as sound or video? That I don't know how. I'm not going to say what it is. I don't know, but then it would be perfectly normal. Well, of course I'm talking to them on the phone and I know what they smell like. Why wouldn't you know what they smell like?
It depends. Say if you were in a long distance relationship or something and that person had their scent or,
sure.
It meant more in the conversation to be able to have that. Mm-hmm. But I mean... I don't think so. Not paying anymore. If it was free, maybe, but not paying anything.
Some researchers here claim to have...
unlocked.
Kind of. They say that by putting electrodes inside these experiment participants' nostrils, they were able to get them to smell fruit, wood, and mint just by stimulating their olfactory nerve with electricity.
Okay.
And I wouldn't sign up for that experiment, but good on them,
right? Oh, no, not
right?
with your nose. Your nose is precious. We don't want to mess around with that place anymore.
I can barely smell anything as it is, let alone we're going to add that in there. But yeah, that... Whoa. Think about that. What if, your phone or you put on a hat or something and all of a sudden you smell what they smell? Again, it seems weird to us, but is it because we're not as interested in smell? Or is it one of those chicken and egg thing? We're not as interested in smell because we spend so much time with computers and TVs and whatever. What if we had invented a way to transfer information via smell?
Well, people talk about that a lot, on TV shows or movies or Amazon. Could they get you to buy something, say perfume, and you wanted to buy it online, but you weren't sure. But what if you could get the smell of it?
What if you could smell it?
Yeah, what if you could smell it somewhere? If they were selling food or something, they could totally pay you. Or if you were a restaurant and they were trying to get you to order them for dinner that night, they could send that through you. You'd get the text message with a coupon and it would have the smell attached to it.
I can't.
I
I
could
don't
see
want
that
I don't
being
want that.
really popular.
I'll tell you right now. I get a push notification from McDonald's and it smells like French fries in here.
Then it's over. But that could be a game changer on that side of things of just selling you stuff.
Oh, I don't want that.
But that's probably what it would be mostly used for.
I was on board until you said that. No. If you're telling me that all of a sudden I'm going to smell French fries and cooking burgers, no.
And then you can make your order of what you want for dinner.
The Riot was this close from becoming the absolute worst morning show in radio. Yep, they can't even win at losing. It's the worst of The Riot on RadioU.
Let's talk about a not disappointing experience that apparently people are having in the movies. Whee! The reviews are starting to come back, Nikki, and it looks like Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how that one was going to turn out.
Everybody thinks it is great.
They like it?
The thing that I think is really dumb just as a complete side note, is how many of these, they're not full-blown reviews. It's basically like they did a critic screener. They're allowing them to tweet out initial thoughts, and then they can write the reviews later. But people are like, I didn't realize how much we needed Mary Poppins right now.
Don't go too overboard,
it's
guys.
like, guys...
No offense if you love it, but I guess I didn't grow up watching or like adoring and loving Mary Poppins.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, so to me, it's not like I must see this.
Well, here's why it has kind of caught my eye. Well, Emily Blunt, 1. 2, Aquaman and Mary Poppins Returns are like going head to head for your Christmas
weekend?
Money. Same weekend.
Hey.
Same weekend.
I wonder which one will win.
Well, I'm curious about that. The other thing is that they did the same thing with Aquaman. Aquaman had a critic screening 2 or 3 nights ago, and they allowed kind of initial Twitter response.
Thoughts to come out?
Very positive. Very positive. Like, people loved it. Especially liked Jason Momoa. Said that even though there were some parts that were a little corny or didn't work, like
he worked as Aquaman.
He really sold it. And so you've got Mary Poppins versus Aquaman. Now that's a movie I would see.
If I had to choose, I know like Batman versus Superman. If I had to choose, I'd probably see Aquaman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah, I would.
I wonder.
But don't you feel like there's a high probability of getting together with family and ending up probably seeing?
Let's go see Mary Poppins.
Now, again, I don't know many people in my sphere of friends and stuff who are just like, do you remember how great Mary Poppins? Like, we don't have any history with it. So.
You're going to see a lot of press for it, though. There's going to be a lot of people. Because I actually, I do know people that still really, really like Mary Poppins and were interested in this. They're not my kind of people.
Well, it's not like to me, like, okay, Toy Story or even the Wreck-It Ralph, the second one that just came out.
Sure.
It seems like there's more drive to see that than Mary Poppins is just so old.
Well, that's because Disney hasn't spun up the mind control machine for Mary Poppins to force you to want to go.
That's true. That's more like your parents. You take your grandparents to go see it.
A perfectly legitimate thing because you're getting together with family, multi-generational family gatherings, and that's how you end up seeing movies like Mary Poppins.
And I think they would be the ones to have fuzzy, warm feelings about Mary Poppins.
Mm-hmm. So, and I still think Mary Poppins versus Aquaman would be an amazing movie because think about this. Mary Poppins has an umbrella. Mm-hmm. Aquaman is a water guy.
It's writing itself. It's writing itself.
I mean, we already have that scene planned out. Like, I can already see where that's headed.
Is that, it's not today, though. Is it in a couple of weeks? Or when?
Oh, no. I think it might actually be, I got to double check, but I think it might be Christmas Day.
For both of them?
Yeah, well, let's see, December 19th.
December 20th and December 21st for Aquaman.
Okay, so they're going to put, Mary Poppins probably scared of Aquaman, so they're sneaking it out a couple of days before.
Well, it looks like they have they have some screenings like the afternoon, evening ones on the 19th and then the 20th, so you'll be able to see it.
You said Aquaman was the 21st?
Well, it says release date the 21st, but then when you look for showtimes, it shows available showtimes in the evenings on the 19th and 20th.
And there's one other like high profile movie that comes out on the 21st, right?
You can't remember.
I'm looking right here. That's the same day that Bumblebee comes out.
Where's that been? That one disappeared.
I agree.
They should move that.
That
seems like a January movie if I ever felt one.
The thing is, like, among those three, Aquaman, Bumblebee, Mary Poppins, what tanks? All three of them don't do well. Something tanks.
Something would.
It's got to be Bumblebee, right?
I'd still go and choose Aquaman out of all of them.
Yeah, followed by Bumblebee. Sorry, Mary.
I don't even know if followed by Bumblebee.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
So we have established on the show that my life is one big cycle. So if I look back on like a time hop or Facebook history or Twitter history or like whatever, I'm basically thinking and feeling the same things on exactly every calendar date.
It's extremely weird. Like, it's to the day. It's really weird.
It is. And
which makes me wonder, are we all like that?
Maybe. 3 or 4 years ago, I almost never hurt myself in the gym. Like, it's just not something I do. Well, 3-4 years ago, I went and worked out on Thanksgiving morning and hurt my back, which, again, not something I do very often, whatever. But that would have been, around November 25th or 26th, 4 or 5 years ago. Well, guess what I did on Monday in the gym?
Monday being
November 25th, 26th, whatever. I hurt my back in the gym.
Isn't that weird? How is
really
that
weird.
possible?
I don't know, but it must be like, I mean, is it because it's cold? Did I not warm up enough? I don't know. But I hurt my back, and I took a couple of days, and I was like, well, who cares? Whatever, it'll be fine. But it keeps getting worse, and so I went to the chiropractor yesterday. And again, not something I do really often, but I was like, bro, somebody's got to help me out with this. So I get in there, and here's the thing, guys. Like, I'm not really thin, but I'm not hugely fat. I'm well cushioned, but like mostly proportioned.
You're
kind
fine.
of. Well, it's relevant to the story, Nikki.
So what happened?
Because I get into the chiropractor, and this guy is, what am I, 5'11", 6 feet tall, and this guy's probably like 5'2" or 3, weighs like 50 pounds, and he's going to be the guy that's going to work on my back.
It's cracking your back.
So
he must have had to do it, though, if he's that,
No.
height.
Here's what you have to understand. There's nothing wrong with being that size. There's no size. It's fine. But when you take somebody that's that size and then you put them next to somebody like me, I look just like a beached whale. And then they're like, here, we want you to lay on this table. And I'm like, oh, great. So this guy is trying to crack my back.
Go on the sand beached whale. Is that what you were thinking?
This guy is trying to crack my back, and he can't.
Aw.
You know why? Because, okay, think about me laying on my stomach. This guy weighs 5 pounds, and I weigh 500 pounds, and he's trying to bounce up and down on my back, getting it to crack. And I'm just like, this is great. Because you know what's happening? He's bouncing on me. My stomach is absorbing the pressure he's trying to put on my back. It's literally like my stomach is a pillow for my back. So he's trying to crack it, and my stomach's like, I got it, bro. Don't worry.
Keep
We're
cracking.
stable. And I'm just I'm literally on the table just flopping around, and I'm just like, yep, this is exactly what I want right here. This is me. And
Did he get it?
Eventually, yes. And yes, I'm feeling better. But it was just one of those moments where I was like, you know what? I don't know if I've ever felt as fat as I feel right now.
There's no reason for you to.
I know what they're saying. Fat's not a feeling. Yes, it is, actually. And I experienced that feeling
It's a big feeling.
yesterday at the chiropractor when the guy's like, we're going to have to go at this from a different angle.
But see, some of that is your height, too, and that's not a fair comparison.
I don't need you to make me feel.
Anyone who's 5'11" or 6 like you're going to be just bigger than someone who's 5'2".
That's fair. But, it was just one of those things where I thought, hey, maybe we could bring a couple people in.
Why don't we just open it up to the whole office?
Hey, anybody in here? How about you? You look like you might be able to do this. Get in here and crack this thing. And this guy is like, he's trying to crack my back. And I'm just like, hey, look at the blubber fly. I mean, I really felt like Homer Simpson in that moment. I was like, check me out.
Okay, first off, let's have some positive thoughts because that's not it. And second, maybe you need a chiropractor that fits.
Do they have a big and tall chiropractor?
The size section that you're looking for, the power.
Oh, my gosh. And I mean, the guy, to his credit, he did crack my back. But I felt like when it was over and I left, he was just like, that was a close one, right? That one almost didn't work out, right? Whew, glad that's over.
I'm not so much mad about what they say. I'm mad that they think any of us want to hear it. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
It is the Riots on RadioU.
Well, we play Capital Lights, and then everyone wants to text us.
So we did play Capital Lights, his favorite Christmas story, and I didn't say anything about it.
No, you didn't even say it was coming. You just let it play.
I was just going to let it go. I was listening to it. I was in the break room getting coffee, and I was like, you know what?
Just let people have their song.
You don't have to address it. You can just let it go. But thankfully, you guys were all addressing it for me. Andrew, though, has my favorite text message of all, and I'm starting with his. He says, the I Like Your Pretty Mouth song.
Yes, that's Capital Lights.
It is, because what does he talk about? He objectifies this woman so terribly. Her pretty red dress and her pretty red mouth. Doesn't even get her name. You know why? Because she's just one more pretty girl to him.
You know, sometimes you just, for the song, it just writes a certain way. And I just have a feeling that's how that written out.
So, anyway.
Thank you, Andrew, for the text.
Andrew, he didn't even bother to find out. So, we see that she was a waitress that became a nurse. Did he bother to find out about her hopes and dreams? She was working as a waitress, dreaming of becoming a nurse. He doesn't know that. All he knows is she's got an awful pretty red mouth.
So Kelly texted also, said, no one knows the name of the song, but it's the best. So that was Capital Lights as well.
His favorite Christmas story.
People are always left or right, never a middle of the road. Like, oh, it's all right.
Nate says, Friday morning, Capital Lights Christmas song. It must be practically Christmas.
Thank you, Nate.
And so, Jen, things I don't like about the holidays. 1, family discussing politics. 2, the favorite Christmas story song. 3, nothing.
That's it. But does love a lot of other things about, the holidays, though. And says Merry Christmas.
And let's see. Bridget says that song gives me goosebumps every time.
Oh, see, again, left or right.
Well, I know, but she doesn't say, when she says it gives her goosebumps, that isn't necessarily a positive thing.
Most people mean a positive thing with goosebumps. You don't mean it usually if it's a bad thing.
Yeah, when I hear "Baby, It's Cold Outside," I get goosebumps too. But I'm just like, did she just ask what's in this drink?
She said it made my morning hearing it. So, again, positive side on that one.
Again, it made her morning. That's a good thing?
Yeah, it is. It is. You want your morning? Yeah. Okay, fine. Obie's on the one side, and I'm more middle. I don't mind the song, but if you want to join in on the texting conversation, you are more than welcome to.
I don't know this person's name, but they say Capital Lights Christmas song is Radio U's version of Christmas shoes. Man, high five from here.
Well, text us your name back, 877-2-RADIO-U. And if you would like more of the Radio U Christmas music, so you can listen on your own time without all the comments.
Carl says, I love that favorite Christmas story song, but it has serious plot holes and makes me happy, sad cry.
It does. But you can check out our Radio U Christmas channel. That's at RadioU.com, Radio U app, and our Radio U Roku channel. And you can listen to us hosting more of your favorite Radio U Christmas songs.
So that was Kylene who said that that's our version of Christmas shoes. Because, who doesn't want to hear a song about a kid trying to buy shoes for his dying mom? Play it again!
No.
An old man.
We can take apart every song, all right?
Not all of them, no. That's not right.
Most of them you can.
Having a bad day? Blame the Riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
Feel like we're going to be texting for the next hour or so concerning the one Christmas song that we played. So we will continue to text with you, 877-2-RADIO-U. Anytime you want to ever say anything, that's the best way to get a hold of us, or call if you'd like. But if you text, make sure you include your name.
Oh, there's so many people that want to talk about. And Nikki's right. Capital Lights, his favorite Christmas story, is divisive.
An instigator?
It is. It is so divisive. People are just like, wah! Let's see. Okay. I don't know who this person is. Radio U already has 3 actual Christmas shoes songs, though. You're right. I love his favorite Christmas story and the version of Christmas shoes you guys play, and my wife hates them both. Josh in Kentucky.
Great.
Rachel, his favorite Christmas story is one of my favorite Christmas songs. It's not Christmas time until I've heard it. The first time I hear it, I cry, even though I'm not a crier. And his Capital Lights, they're amazing. Also, Christmas shoes is terrible.
Stephanie says Capital Lights is the worst Christmas song ever.
Andrew says, I used to really like that song. Now I've heard it too much. My current favorite Christmas is O Come, O Come, Emmanuel by For Today. That's a good one.
That is.
Yeah. Jared says, dude, I bawl like a baby every time I hear that song. And then I was laughing at him and said, because you're a baller, dude.
But even the crying.
Yeah.
It's emotional.
It is emotional.
Did you read Tyler's?
There's a lot here. What's
Tyler say? His favorite Christmas story has just become a classic in my playlist.
Yeah.
See,
what you do with
left
classics?
To right.
You retire them.
It's like when you go the holidays and your family does talk about politics. In this world, all you have to do is mention that Christmas song, and here it goes.
There's only
Everybody's arguing.
There's only 2 kind of people in this world, Nikki. Those that like Christmas shoes or his favorite Christmas story, and those who don't.
Well, again, reminder on the Christmas channel, go listen anytime you would like, especially this weekend if you're going to put your tree up or something. Pull up the Radio U Christmas channel and have that playing while you do it.
You could be learning jiu-jitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life. But no, you're listening to the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Okay, we've all been there. We want a cell phone for Christmas, right? Because Christmas is coming up and you're like, you know what would really make it such a Merry Christmas? As if I had an iPhone XS Max.
And you can't afford it, but if you get all your relatives together to help you with the purchase, then the holidays it is.
You know, honey, I don't know if Santa's going to be able to get an iPhone XS Max for you.
But if you promise your parents that this is all they have to get you for like the next 10 years.
You can combine my Christmas and my birthday.
I always do that.
Christmas and birthday together.
And then I think we just stopped counting because you're like, well, you've given up your birthday for like the next 3 years.
And can I just tell you, just as a side note, the best Christmas scam, and we'll get back to the cell phone thing, but like this, the best Christmas scam ever is that I had a friend of mine who every year, he would have his parents, he would get an early Christmas present. Like, well, I really want this, and this is cheaper and everything. And so could it just be my Christmas present? Bro, he would get, and he had years where he got his grandparents to give him his Christmas present early, and then his parents to give him the Christmas present early. And then when Christmas came, he still got what he wanted. I never got that scam to work. He was always like, it'd be October, and he was like, I got my new computer because blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I told my grandparents what really would make this computer good is a new graphics card. But since I already got my Christmas present, I guess I won't get anything.
He just knew how to work them.
And I'm telling you, the thing about materialism is that I just need more of it in my life. I have got to come up with better ways to scam more people.
More passion about
into
it.
Getting me more stuff. And I don't want to reciprocate those gifts, Nikki. I want to get Christmas focused on, like
the real reason of the season.
Don't take the Obadiah out of Christmas is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay,
because you can't spell Christmas without Obi. So.
No, you can't. Everybody's out there trying to get the focus on like people and off of things, and I want people to get focused on things for people, like things for me. So I'm going to call my mom here in just a minute and tell her I want an early present.
An early present.
I think it's too late.
To do it.
I know. I had
you
to do
really
that back
need to
in
do
October.
like say a summer thing.
Yes.
Like that's when you really win and score big.
Yeah, man, he was always good at scamming stuff.
Well, why don't you talk to him? Reconnect. Say, hey,
Get his,
maybe like he's in jail now because he runs a pyramid scheme or something.
He was like. This one, sometimes there was times when he couldn't let things go. We were standing there, this is a couple years ago, and he had just gotten a car, and his grandpa was like, hey, how's your car running? And he was like, well, it's running okay. It's a little low on gas.
Oh, my God.
And you know what I actually just said? I was like, why don't you just ask him for gas money? Like, just come out and do it. And he was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, what is this little dance? Maybe he gets you an early Christmas present, right? Got a couple of gas cards.
Hey, I see that all affected you.
Am I bitter about it?
You're still remembering it all.
Yeah, you know why? Because he got early Christmas presents,
and you didn't.
And I got a job. But it's fine.
No problem. So what were we going to talk about instead? I feel we got a little derailed.
I feel like we were going to talk about new phones for Christmas.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, but I also feel like we're going to have to take a break, and someone's going to have to take a minute.
You want to go get some water?
No, I've got coffee here. That'll help.
No.
I'll just get some more coffee.
We add some more water to the coffee.
I don't want to hear about it.
You're listening to the worst of the Riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
Away. Oh, the mic's on.
Oh, now we have a song you can sing to.
I actually didn't know it was
It is
on.
the Riot. Hey, listen, you sound great. You're doing good. Good.
I need a cigarette.
Are we glad it's Friday?
I don't actually smoke. It is the Riot.
I don't think we could do another day.
Probably not.
Just these 5 days was enough.
Probably not, Nikki. You're right.
Let's talk about cell phones.
Let's get focused on a cell phone for Christmas.
Let's go back to what we were talking about.
You can combine my birthday and my Christmas.
We're going to talk about
we're
this.
going to end up. Okay.
We're going to talk about that again.
You want a cell phone for Christmas, but let's face it, it's expensive. So you do what I think any reasonable person is going to do. You head down to that T-Mobile store on 12th and you rob them. You know?
Is that what we do?
And then you're getting a lot of cell phones for Christmas. And then, Nikki...
And then you're giving gifts to people.
Exactly.
Not just you.
Exactly what happened. Steve and Sherrod, they're from Norman, Oklahoma. No, excuse me. They're from Texas, actually. They headed into the store and they grabbed themselves
some somethings.
Well, they had some masks and some baseball bats. And they went on in there. And they said, if you don't give us the cell phones, we're going to hit your face. Or something. They threatened.
Sure.
Okay. So they forced these two employees into the back room, and the employees were like, all right, here. So they dumped all these cell phones into the bags that the guys had brought with them.
Well, do they have cell phones that are like the die pack ones from the bank when people rob them that are fake?
Yes, they do.
They do? I had no idea.
They're not a die pack, though.
What do they do?
The GPS on them is enabled.
Oh, so they can tell where they went.
So here's what I love.
I love this.
It's like a couple of guys must have just watched Fight Club because he demanded that one of the employees give me your ID. If you turn us in, I'm coming back for you. So the employees are like, yeah, we'll just, hey, hello, police. Yeah, we got the GPS fix on them. We can go pick them up.
On one of the many phones that they took.
So they definitely busted the two guys, and they're in jail now. 30 phones, or no, excuse me, not 30 phones, about 30. Oh, yeah, it was. Sorry. I forgot phones. No. Because, see, here's where I got confused. I forgot that phones cost $1,000. So when they say that it was $30,000 worth of phones, it was 30 phones. Because my first thought was, $30,000? That must have been hundreds of phones.
No. They went for the big ones.
Joke's on me.
They went for the big ones.
Joke's on me. So, yeah, they did. They grabbed Samsung and Apple devices, 30 of them, worth approximately $30,000. Even though, now that you know they're Samsung and Apple, we know it was more than $30,000. So, yeah.
So they're in trouble, obviously, since they've been caught.
Yeah, I do love the idea of stealing 30 GPS-enabled devices and they won't find us.
Well, I wouldn't even have thought about that. But now you know if anybody's trying to do that. And then before you go anywhere for them to track you, you got to figure out how to turn them all off.
Well, I think what it comes down to is this. Nikki, when you and I go rob T-Mobile this weekend.
Wasn't planning on it, but it's the weekend.
When we do, I think we've got to go in there and sit down with the employee and be like, all right, give me your ID. Okay, I'm going to hurt you real bad if you turn me in. Now, could you activate this for me?
Yeah, I just
now, don't you turn the GPS on.
I'll know you if you did it.
If you're a cop, you got to tell me, are you a cop? Did you turn the GPS on? Because you got to tell me if you turn the GPS on.
And this is why we do not go rob any places, which could be our next Riot road trip.
Nikki and I robbing a T-Mobile store.
We're not going to.
It wouldn't go really well. It starts
it
out with
seems
me
like way too much effort.
Nikki, no, the door's not a push, it's a pull. Pull on the door. You got to pull. Okay. I think they see us coming.
Oh, you guys listen to the show. Oh, great. Oh, thank you so much.
This is just a prank. It's not a problem.
We're leaving now.
Dear Radio U, when I was a kid, my parents sent our dog to live on a farm in the country where he could run and play all day. I could ask them for the address if you need somewhere to send the Riot. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Okay, so off air, Nikki and I are talking about...
Don't know why.
I do. I can tell you. I was checking the stuff every Friday. There's new movies they put on sale on iTunes. And one of those is Snow White and the Huntsman. I never saw it. It's got Chris Hemsworth in it. And what's her name from the Vampires? And what's her name from the Fast and Furious? Charlize Theron and Kristen... Stewart.
Maybe?
No, that's right.
Is it?
It is right.
Okay.
And then... Nikki's like, don't fall for it. It's not that good. I think.
You like the trailer. You thought, the trailer was pretty good.
The trailer was pretty good. What I love is that Nikki has 3 times asked me, was there a sequel? I think there was a sequel.
I don't recall hearing
is
you
there
the
a second
answer.
one? Okay. There was a second one.
I don't know if I saw it.
It was called The Huntsman Winter's War. Now, here's the thing, is that the Snow White movie, it got like a 40-something on Rotten Tomatoes, okay? The Huntsman Winter's War, which is the sequel, that got a 16 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Way to go.
16.
That is low. You can go lower, but that's low.
Though if you look at its iTunes rating, people there have given it 4 stars.
Because I think it was a prequel, wasn't it?
It is a prequel. It's about something.
With Emily
something.
Blunt, Mary Poppins person.
Mary Poppins herself was in it.
Mm-hmm. And was it the Jessica
Chastain?
Yes, on the other one.
Uh-huh.
And then the Chris guy.
Chris Hemsworth. Look,
this is why we don't do movies.
Nikki's acting like she didn't know that Chris Hemsworth was in it. She was like, "Is
Thor?
Is Thor in it?"
He's not my favorite, Chris, but he's still in the group.
Does he have long hair? Okay. How much does that cost? I'll pay it.
I'm not paying to watch it. No.
Yeah, you are.
It won't help the movie. It won't help it. It didn't help the first one.
It didn't, did it? I don't know. But it did poorly. Okay, this is what happens. These movies are like 100 years old. And so I get in this room and start drinking coffee, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this weekend, let's just watch them all. And then when I leave here, I'll be like, it's like I'm drunk or something, where you're just like, what? Well, I don't want to see that. That's so stupid. I don't want to watch that.
So what about this room makes you want to just buy all these
poor
movies?
Decisions? I don't know.
Why
I don't
is
know.
that?
I think there's something in the vents.
I
think
so?
something died up there, and it's spewing some kind of a poison.
We don't get enough natural light in the room, and I think we don't get enough natural air. Like we're just in here.
Yeah.
Just cooking.
Seems fair. We're in here cooking.
Don't buy it, though, okay?
I'm not.
Don't buy either of them.
No, certainly not.
Good.
I'm strong.
I just, no, and you know what, though? If you do, I want you to still feel free like you need to tell me and not just lie for the rest of our lives. And then when you die, you're like, hey, Nikki.
I'm on my deathbed.
And I'm there because I'll be there. And you'll be like, you remember that one morning we talked about those Snow White movies? I bought them both.
Remember back in Delaware in 1937? We were watching Snow White talking about her pretty dress.
Yes. And
November
I want
30th,
honesty.
a quarter till 8. I purchased Snow White, and I never watched it.
And I don't want us to lie to each other and this to be some sort of thing that's always there.
Well, I want to know
you can
why.
never look me in the eyes again because you bought these movies.
It was never the same after that day.
I know, so please be honest.
I don't know what happened, but it was never the same.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, come on. No.
Don't act like you haven't, like we haven't gone through this dance before.
What are you talking? Like that?
Okay.
Come on, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I do feel like you could get me to rent it now.
No, you're not even allowed to do that.
No, the only way I'm renting it is I have to be in my chair, sitting there with my finger poised on the button. That's not even enough?
No, if it was free, fine. But you're not spending any money on those movies.
Let's see. What's that website? Stream it? What are we doing? Why are we talking about this? I don't care.
I don't know. It obviously is important enough for you to want to talk about it.
You brought it up. You're the one that kept asking questions about it. Was there a sequel? Was there a sequel?
Okay. Let's just go. It's fine. It's fine.
All right.
Let's open up the windows. Get some air in here.
Wait, some outside air.
Let's get some outside air in here. It's fine.
Mornings are for coffee and contemplation.
Chief, she's...
Coffee and contemplation.
And the Riot. Obviously. Radio U.
Sure, you've run a marathon, but you're weak. 26.2 miles, on a cloudy day. Man, that's not fair over there. One time it rained a little bit and it was warm.
Well, you haven't done an extreme race then.
Are you ready to run a marathon in Antarctica?
I kind of like the spin on this, too, where they drop you off, and then it's not like the tagline, but they keep pushing the fact that if you're not done by the time the plane takes off, they leave you there, which is not probably true.
Well, here's the way it pans out. You have 5 hours to complete a marathon in Antarctica. If you do not complete the race in 5 hours, you will be forced to spend the night in a, and I quote, luxury pod that will be left for you.
Actually, I think it'd be kind of fun to stay the night.
I would want to.
Yeah, like you're going and doing the whole trip there.
Like I'm going to be all whatever. Like, yeah, I want to at least say I spent the night in Antarctica.
Now, if you normally don't like the fee for like a local race, you're not going to like this. So,
well,
it's $24.
$24.
No, there's zeros. $24,000.
Oh, I thought that was $24.
No, imagine if it was $24. $24,000.
$24,000.
As the runner, you are flown to the South Pole by a private jet, and that will get you entry into the race, the Jet Marathon.
So what happens is you fly to Cape Town, South Africa, and then you get ready. And these people, the company or the group, they're called the White Desert. They get you ready for your run. Then you fly down there, run 26.2 miles, and then you fly back to Cape Town.
So the big thing about the plane thing is it's not just like, oh, that's the number, the 5-hour thing that they came up with. It's observed because the flight regulations limit how long an airplane can actually be on the ground in Antarctica, and 5 hours is the limit. So if you want to go back on the plane, you have to be done because the plane is not allowed to stay longer than that because things start to malfunction.
So So
then you will wait, and they'll have to come back and get you the next day and then take you back to Cape Town.
They say apparently your flight out the next day will not be quite as luxurious as they're basically coming to clean up anything from the race that's been left behind. And that's the plane they'll fly you back on.
So it's only open to 24 participants, and that's it. That's what you could do.
Nice.
Doesn't that sound fun? That's not the first race you want to start off with. I think you want to start off with, again, a local race.
You know what, Nikki? I think that's a really good call.
You never know if you're going to like running or not.
I think maybe you should go ahead and consider maybe taking, maybe try a 10K first.
Something special.
10K on a cold day.
They expect the temperatures to be 10 to 23 degrees, strong winds.
That's actually not that bad.
Well, they say the winds are the biggest problem usually with people. They'll be operating 3 aid stations. They'll have emergency support, and the race will run in February. And so applicants are now being taken if you have the $24,000 to sign up for it.
Yes. That's right. Applicants. That means that there are more people that want to do this and are willing to pay for it than there are spots.
Sure. If I had $24,000 and I was into that sort of thing, not necessarily the running, but just the look at what I've done this weekend, that would be actually fun to just go and not even really run. Just, call it.
Yeah.
But no one has that throwaway money.
But, somebody does.
Someone does, but not us.
And, Nikki, just remember Instagram. Like, you could be Instagramming from Antarctica.
I mean, that's why I would totally do it. Can you imagine that? Like, where am I?
You're not going to top that.
That would be the best.
Awful. Terrible. Horrible. Pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm going to need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I have a tendency to be fairly open, like with my digital privacy. I mean, I've accepted the fact that people somewhere are building a database that has everything about me ever. And you're like, well, I use a VPN and incognito mode.
Everybody's still knowing. That is not how that goes.
You're a cute kid, really you are. I'm sure they always take great pains to respect your incognito mode privacy. That's really happening right now. But this is one that creeps me out a little bit. Apparently, Apple has gone ahead and filed a patent for the iSheet, and it's betting. Betting that would, and again, some of this, I don't think
extend your Wi-Fi, or
I don't think the patent is. No, the patent is not. That's not a rumor, but some of the speculation about it kind of is. But it's a sheet that would be able to track your sleep, track your body temperature, and the idea is that it would, it might be able to help diagnose certain conditions before they would normally be seen.
Not the worst. A lot of people use your phones, or you can wear something to track your sleep.
Yeah.
Makes more sense if it was built into the betting. It's odd, but I think Apple just patents everything and then tries to put their technology in case it ever could work in it.
Right. And I get that, but this is where I guess up to this point, it hasn't seemed that weird. You want to see what my online shopping habits are? Of course you do. You want to market to me. You want to put a microphone in my house and hear what I'm talking about?
That's fine, as long as you help run my life.
Of course you do. You want to target ads at me. You want to know what I'm doing in my sleep.
Well, you're thinking of it it the wrong way. They don't want to. It's if you want to know, then you're buying the bedding. They're not forcing you to buy the bedding. You don't have to buy the bedding if you don't have sleep problems.
Okay, here's my thought. And I realize this is so conspiracy theory, and I don't know why this is the item. This is the one. I've got cameras all over my house.
But this is too much.
I'm constantly updating my status with GPS tagging, all this stuff. But there's something about this, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I think no matter where you stand on it, I think we can all kind of agree that, medical insurance and the medical industry in the United States is kind of a train wreck, right?
Yeah, sure.
So, okay, anytime they want to start building data, like health data about you, how you're sleeping, this, that, or the other, and you're like, well, no one sees that data but me. Yeah, for now, but at what point does it suddenly turn into that? I don't know. Let's say at some point a government agency somewhere decides that if there's health data about you, it has to be shared with your insurance provider or your healthcare provider or whatever, because they have to have access in order to keep costs down.
Sure.
Et cetera, et cetera. So now all this data exists about you that in a lot of ways they don't necessarily have any right to it. And I know slippery slope. It's not a good argument, but this is one. I kind of feel the same way about smartwatches, where they're like, it tracks my heart rate and it tracks whatever. And it's like, I don't know if I want everybody to know.
I feel like the sheets are one thing, but your phone's probably doing it right next to the bed anyways.
I don't keep my phone next to my bed.
Fine, then you're just beating the system, aren't you?
Actually, that's not true. Once my alarm broke, I started using it.
Oh, you put it there.
But I put it in airplane mode.
Oh, it can't find anything else about you.
There's no way it's tracking me then.
So I think it's already being done. It's just now, if you actually have a sleep problem, maybe it'll be easy for you to find out or diagnose it.
Let's move to the woods.
Why?
Because, we'll go back to living.
If there's no service?
No more vaccines, no more cell phones, no more tracking my whatever.
No more food.
We'll be dead by the time we're 25, but we'll be free, man.
I am not ready to do that.
Okay. All right. Just live in the dirt like our ancestors.
Would want us to?
Like they did.
Yeah, but they never lived long. You're right. We'd only live a couple more years.
Man, we'll burn bright, but we'll burn out fast, right?
The Riots motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
Whoa, it is the Riots on Radio U.
You okay over there?
Well, Nikki's got me looking at weighted blankets.
I think you should look at it for Christmas, because I know you'll get probably some gift cards, and I think it could be good for you.
Yeah. Why do you think I need a weighted blanket, Nikki?
Because I know you wake up during the night sometimes, or you get up early, and this will tie you down to the bed.
It'll push me down.
But it's supposed to actually be really good if you wake up a lot, or
they say if you suffer from depression or anxiety, they say a weighted blanket
would help you sleep better at night. And I know if you sleep better at night, then you can handle your depression better during the day.
This is true.
And a lot of times it's harder, though, if you don't sleep as well.
I've had multiple people tell me they think I need a weighted blanket.
Yeah.
What's the problem, though? They're expensive. What are they weighing them down with?
There's little weights in them that's sewn into the blanket.
Okay. Because it's
it distributes it evenly. So it's not like, here's a weight in the corner, and then it just no, it's like the blanket itself is weighted.
Of course, they say the more you weigh, the heavier the blanket you need. So I need the heaviest blanket, and it's like $4 million.
Not that bad. It's probably like $70 or $80.
Try it. This one's $170.
$170.
This one's $100.
Okay.
So
There's options you can find. Does anybody use a weighted blanket? I
would actually be interested in hearing from people I have or haven't used
that
one.
way you would know for sure, at least someone telling you, and you can always return it, but I think it's worth you finding out.
I have heard.
Or check Pinterest. There might be a way you can.
A DIY?
Yeah, make your own weighted blanket.
What if listen, okay, I don't want to make it weird, but what if I buy a blanket and then I just hire someone to sleep on top of me?
That probably crosses into the weird thing.
It doesn't have to be weird.
You're not weighting it down that much.
It's like, listen, people are going to say this is weird, but it's not weird. I just need you to lay on top of me. Nothing weird. Just sleep. I'm going to sleep. You sleep.
No, because it's like 10, 15, 20 pounds. It's not like a person's weight.
Okay. All right.
Because then you might not wake up. You're going to be suffocated.
I don't know. That might be kind of awesome. Like, what happened to you? Well,
I would just look and see.
Okay.
What weight do you want? A 15-pound or?
No, like a 20 or a 25-pound, I think.
Okay, if you want one of those.
Well, man, if you're going to weigh me down, let's do it.
Just go all the way.
We're all in, okay?
So if anybody has used a weighted blanket, I don't know, throw a text, or if you email riot at RadioU.com or put it in our message us at RadioU Riot on Facebook, and then take a look and see.
All right, let's see. Chuck just sent us the Zen blanket, the blanket for better sleep. It's a weighted blanket backed by science that improves your sleep.
Be true.
Well, science.
So, it's an Indiegogo.
Yeah, so, well, it's too late for me to get in, though.
It's closed.
That's too bad. It sure is. All right.
Never there in the beginning, but always right at the end.
Oh, yeah, I'm always the guys. Let's see. Hey, guys, this is Paul. My sister-in-law bought me a weighted blanket a year ago, and it made all the difference in the world. Let's see. Have my sister-in-law. I don't have a sister-in-law. Mike, again, talking about weighted blankets. Maybe you get that one person. Didn't you guys have a story a while back about someone you could rent the night to cuddle? Yeah, I'll hire a cuddle person and just be like, look, it's not weird. Just sleep on top of me, okay?
I just want to help with this anxiety.
Let's see. My oldest kid has a weighted blanket. He doesn't wake up in the middle of the night anymore, okay? Let's see. Andrew, I think I would like a weighted blanket, but I'm in the same boat on the price. But what if for like $100, $120, you slept better every night of your life?
That'd be totally worth it. And I know I told him because Target, I remember seeing some articles. They had a cheaper weighted blanket, but it's sold out like everywhere.
Of course
You'd have to go to the store and see, but you can't buy it online.
No.
We'll keep looking, but you'll have gift cards coming for Christmas.
That's true, Nikki.
So maybe we look towards a blanket.
Well, wouldn't we all love that?
It would be good.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
It's literally like my stomach is a pillow for my back.